This is the camp that Constantin's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope the Donegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws, and there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep, by beasts. Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Catasac and Constantin were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Catasac wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. Corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantin nor Catasac are among them. A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. This blade is a native ritual knife. And this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Catasac have found a better means to alleviate Constantin's symptoms? Constantin and Catasac must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames. More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be killed by explosive. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again, or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantin or Constantin. I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantin, what have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantin and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual, but they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantin captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wen Xavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
And you think that they would have taken Constantin? Is that possible? Maybe he was in need of treatment. But if you suspect them to have participated in the combat to capture him, I think you're wasting your time. I know the captain of that outpost. A pessimistic man who would never order an attack without being absolutely certain of total victory without losses.
Perhaps. Unless he was simply obeying orders. It does belong to the Coin Guard, after all. However, one way or another, Constantin is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
Colonials? You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere. To whom do I owe the honor?
Desardet. I am legate of the Congregation of Merchants on this island.
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many official sorts around here. Captain Idris. I am the ranking officer in charge of this Bridge Alliance outpost. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for Constantin d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this rat hole?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly all died. But we found no trace of his body, which has us hoping that he may still be alive. Wounded and holding up somewhere, or even captured.
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? I hope this is a joke. We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been totally forgotten. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. And we definitely haven't kidnapped him. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless. You should be looking in their direction.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note. Signed by your hand.
And they are dead. I had hoped they'd have survived and would eventually return.
Explain yourself, Captain. What were your men doing on the clifftop?
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movements. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided to take initiative and be ready. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange lights up there. But I was hoping...
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing as well? You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me, I'm taking no more unnecessary risks.
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me?
Captain, my name is Afra, you might remember me. I passed by this outpost with my fellow scholars.
The Lost Expedition. Yes, I remember.
His Excellency was able to extract us from the situation we found ourselves in.
His Excellency has powers that I do not possess.
I'm casting no stones at you. You are isolated and without resources, and understandably a bit angry. You have the feeling that the powerful of this world have abandoned you, and you want to make them pay. But a life hangs in the balance. We must save him.
You were right. I will tell you everything I know. One of the men I'd posted there returned during the night.
A survivor? Excellent. Did he tell you what happened?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed unconscious 2 steps past the doorway. Our nurse sits with him, but... there is little hope that he will come back to himself. His wounds are extremely serious. He's just refusing to die.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something for him.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can do something to help the poor boy. I can't take it anymore. To lose another man. Anything else?
Concerning the young man that survived.
Did you see the nurse?
Not yet.
Really? I thought that your cousin's life hung in the balance. This boy will not survive long if someone doesn't help him. Anything else?
I need to be going.
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary!
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier. The captain told me you might need my help.
That is very kind of him. But alas, it's a little late.
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, he still lives. But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish my stocks. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe water on his brow and hope.
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known potion that heals burns.
I see. Give me the recipe. We'll go and see that it's prepared for you.
Thank you. Because of you, this poor boy might be able to survive his wounds. Were you able to concoct the potion against burns?
Yes, I was. Might we administer it?
Give it to me. I'll take care of this. There. We must wait and be patient now.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know soon enough. This potion is extremely potent.
And if he survives, when could we speak to him?
Come back tomorrow at the same time. We'll know more then.
Very well. I'll come back tomorrow.
See you soon. And thank you again for your help.
Hello, soldier. How are you doing?
Better. A lot better. Are you the one who saved me? The nurse told me.
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Nothing more. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
I will try. They're not really memories I'm fond to bring back. A lot of my friends died up there. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement. It had been a couple of days when we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming in our own language. So we went to see what was happening. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Constantin Katasak and his escort. Who were they fighting against?
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them. And there were flames.
Flames? Where were they coming from?
I don't know. My friends and other soldiers fell one after the other. I didn't see everything. All was blood and confusion with beasts and fire. But I thought I saw another islander. Big. He's the one who took the sickened man. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I was wounded and I passed out. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. Rebels. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up with difficulty and fled. I dragged myself here. and you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends. You take a great risk.
That's enough. Rest now. You're still far from having recovered.
Yes, it's best I leave now. I've learned enough. I'll have a word with your captain. Goodbye.
Excellency, I was told that you saved my soldier. Thank you. You can't imagine what this means to us.
Please. I did nothing more than follow the instructions your nurse gave me.
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your man and he told me what he saw. He and his company heard sounds of the attack, and they went to investigate. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by animals that jumped out from all sides. A strange sorcerer controlled them. It was he that took my cousin.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. I knew that they'd be behind all of this. They must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought he would make the perfect hostage. I'm sorry. I would give you some men, but...
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found, and if my cousin is there, I will free him.
Like you freed the scholars. You're a good man, Excellency. Thank you again for saving my soldier.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
Hello.
Renaigse, there you are again. What do you want?
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here and accuse us of taking him? Let me throw him out this Renaigse and his Ilkdaren. May they receive this punishment for their arrogance.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm you. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who is protecting him. Katisach, one of your greatest Donegada.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened to them. I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not know what happened to him. As for Katasach, and the Vorst Tire, he died from his wounds. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. The ground shook all the way to our homes. We went to see, but we arrived too late. The last breath of Katasach had returned to the wind when we arrived there, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We could do no more. We carried the body of the Donegad and brought it here.
He gave his life to protect Constantin. May he rest in peace. This request might surprise you, but we would like to see him.
Why? What do you want to do with him, Renaigse?
Examine him to understand what killed him. We were told that an island native was there and that he likely led the attack.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach. You have been lied to, or they were mistaken.
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his body, you will pay for this offense with your life.
Katisach. Seeing the state of his body, I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad, to have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then, let's see what story this corpse has to tell.
I can give a detailed examination of the corpse. It is a task that I have been trained to perform.
I gladly cede the privilege.
We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions, covering the entire surface of the victim's body. None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any visible bullet entry points. Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital organs. Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame, no doubt. And we also note several patches of mineral residue. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our deceased. I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but one thing is certain.
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack is capable of wielding molten rock.
In any other circumstance, your conclusion would qualify you for an asylum. But I stand on the side of the improbable. The natives' powers reside outside the body of knowledge we possess.
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. That they might attack careless hunters or warriors, true, but to attack Katasach, the power to call volcano fires.
We still don't really know who is actually behind, judging by the severity of these wounds.
All your experiments.
We had to at least try.
We've grown accustomed. This guardian and there is a ritual.
The Anatalis Fair.
It is a magical. It allows the donate.
That would allow us to.
If what I have heard.
Let's ask her for her.
You are quick. Imagine that this is when her come since that day.
That would explain her.
You must make her.
Hello, Mev.
Renoixe, why have you come here?
I've come to ask you for help.
My help?
My cousin has been taken, and I've been...
Truly?
By performing the Anatalis Fair.
Katasach is dead. He was a good man.
He went with my cousin to... My cousin is this... We examined him, and...
Fire of the earth, but none of our own.
This is why we need your... We want to understand...
And you will avenge very well, Renoix. Our island, the Anatalas Fairm. You will need to act as my Voglendaig.
What do you require?
A potion. And do not forget, the viscera of this, because they contain... As for the...
He didn't have a weapon when I found his body.
Where can I find him?
In Duren's camp.
Very well. Then we can
In that case, let's go together to the ritual site. The place of the attack is not far from Duren's camp.
Very well.
I recognize this weapon. It's Katasak's, I'm certain. It must have been broken during the battle. Let's take it back to Mev.
Quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient concoctions. All of Alsad's talent put into bottles. Greetings. I immediately spot. I have all the. We also selling. I was honored by your visit. Greetings. What can I serve my favorite clown? I was honored by your visit. Please, come back whenever you want.
Were you able to find the elements I need for the ritual?
Yes. Here is what you asked me to bring.
This is good. But the moon is not yet high enough. Would you like to wait with me?
Yes. I'll keep you company.
Sit then in that case. And remain silent. I must meditate. Katasar, we have come to learn the truth of your death. Ato al confrangawi brandi, olehana memen adestame haman. Baravridenan tahanemo quate grenfen, linqui damda renaute da Hoodroc. Lemat, de tahawan kloisam, de talugedon velam, de taragam buledam, de tataminam reloidan, de talamen kantebedam en antelam verfragt tangom.
Katasak! Help me! Please!
Show no fear. I do not think he means you any harm.
What is this? This monster. Why is it attacking us?
I don't know. I don't understand. It is as if it seeks you out. It wants you.
You never should have done that, Katasach. To save one, Renaikse, you put us all in great peril. His spirit is different. He receives badly. You have woven the bond of the Deathbringer.
What is happening to you? Get a hold of yourself. Come on!
I cannot believe it. He has returned.
Who has?
Finbar. The High King. We thought he was dead. He disappeared months ago.
Is he the attacker? And what of Constantin? Have you seen a young, blonde-haired man? He was sickly.
Yes. The golden-haired was there. And he was afraid. Katasach protected him before he was killed by Finbar. Leave me now. I am very tired.
How are you feeling?
Better. What are you going to do now?
If I want to have any hope of finding Constantin, I must follow Vinbar. I have no choice.
Do you know where to look for him? Vinbar has been missing for moons.
The kings and queens could tell me when they saw him for the last time.
Then you must earn their trust. Arm yourself with patience and courage on Olmenawi. Your journey is still long.
Thank you, Mev. You have helped us greatly.
Do not thank me. I have not done this for you, but for Katasach. In order to satisfy my curiosity, I betrayed my king. You will find him and confront him, no doubt. All that remains for me to do is to pray that I have done nothing that cannot be fixed.
Farewell.